Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Imperial Galactic Survival, Addled Building. Uh, as you may notice, that this is a video and this is a recording, and instead of an actual live stream that is supposed to go out on Wednesdays, because YouTube kept canceling the stream at random. It was listing my stream as unlisted and private and random and random and random, and it was just like I was fighting with it for an hour. I finally gave up and said no. So, anyways, not a great intro, but who cares? So today I'm going to be working on the Shylane, and I'm going to be going over several points of how to do certain things. So I'm going to be taking a look at signal logic, P menu, setting that up in a smart way, making how to set up a signal that deals with landing gear. So when you're landed on a planet, it outputs a signal that allows certain things to turn on, and how to set that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with that because, well, it's what I just talked about. So let's go ahead and start with that. So I am planning on adding more sentry guns, and the thing with sentry guns is they are great for taking out. Let me take a look at the underside to make sure I'm not taking out important things, important blocks, or blocking other turrets. So I'm not gonna put it there. There we go. No, that's gonna block a turret. Okay, anyways. Can I put it in the nose? Yes, I can. Okay. Make sure I've got symmetry plane turned on. So I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna have it so it targets anything on the ground near the nose. Go ahead and take a look at this, and then I'm gonna hit P to access it in. No, hold on, not P, F. Yeah, P, whatever. Anyways, devices. Switch over to the devices tab, and it's automatically selected because I hit the P key while I was looking at it. So then we're gonna go over to the signal logic. Now I have all four of the landing gears on this ship outputting a signal: gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4. So you can take a look at this. It's just gear 4, and then you selected in this 4x or OR signal. That's what this one is. Hit add circuit, creates that. Now, because I quickly left that, so we're gonna hit on and off. We're gonna ignore these signals because these 4 are only to create that one. So you're gonna hit the landing signal, and then make sure it says follow here. We're not gonna hit the inverter. And then we're going to do the exact same thing to this one. Make sure it's following landing sig. Done. Now, as you can see, all these sentry guns are extended when the landing gear are deployed. Now, only one landing gear needs to touch the ground for all 4 of them to deploy. And that's why I'm using the OR signal. And then, as you can see, they're retracted when the landing gear retract. So when you're leaving the planet, they automatically retract, so you don't need to create a main signal on the P menu. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create a P menu signal. Food processor, because I always have that on one. And then we go over to the food processor, which is up here. Again, hit devices tab, go to signals, follow, and then just have it follow that signal. Done. Simple as that. It's just a simple follow signal, no inverter, nothing. Now, if I were to add the landing ramps to the landing signal, let's add both of them to that landing signal, and then go to where the signal is triggered. It goes down. Now, that's how you would do it for yourself. But personally, I don't do that. I have it set to something else. So the other way I could do that, which is the way that I typically do it, is do it via the P menu. Go back to signal logic. Let's not call it landing signal, let's call it landing. No, let's call it entry ramp. That's usually what I call it. Whoops. Okay, so then we hit P again while we're looking at the device, then we cycle over to the signal logic tab. We have it hit the follow. Do the same to this one. And now, when we hit the P menu, go to the main tab, flick that on, lowers the landing gear. I mean the entry ramps. Pull it back up, or turn it off and it pulls them back up. So you can do that remotely from anywhere on the ship or outside the ship. Anyways, quick little signal logic tour there. Now the next thing on the list I want to show you is how to do container controllers. Now we're going to go to one of the let's pick this one next to the warp drive. Now, as you can see, warp drive is targetable, but it's at the back of the ship, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now, I'm going over to the GEI Discord right now, and I will switch this so that you can see the GEI Discord. Give me a second here to organize that real quick. Tachyon News Service, GEI, there we go, GEI Resources. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch that. So, this is a free-to-anyone channel on my Discord. Now, this has everything out on how to do signal logic. And these are my members, everything, etc. Point is, I have these color-coded things here. I have these color-coded. So, crafting in, I think we'll just go ahead and use crafting in. And it has this code here, has a tag, close tag here, and I'll explain this in a minute. And then this is the site I use to get these hex codes. And these are some additionals. So, next, we're going to go back to the game, go to devices, hit auto group for the moment. It is what it is. Because I haven't set up smart groups yet. And I don't want to do that on stream. Well, I'll do part of it on stream of what I do, but I'm not going to do that. So we're just going to paste that in there. And then go to the actual container controller here. I'm going to edit it to that. So on here, you see it's a 640 KL volume. Energy is 10 watts. That's passive energy required to have it. Okay, and then that's crafting in, and then we're going to use the same technique for crafting out. Well, actually, I do craft in and craft out on ships because, well, let's do this. Now, as you can see, I hit the character limit there. Well, that's not a problem because we can just take that tag off. And it's a little bit brighter color now. And it's distinguishable from the other color. So you can also use the taking off that extra tag, that extra part of the tag, to brighten the color. Very simple. Now, that's all I'm going to show you for that because, well, yeah. Anyways, I'll go through the rest of that later, but I want to get through this very quickly while the viewer retention is high. Okay. Next, we have smart groupings of devices. So what I do with my smart groupings is I'm just going to get rid of these and add these to the main that other container controller. So we're just going to put cargo box, rename -1 space main cargo. Now, the reason I put that is number 1 on the list because you want to be able to access cargo on the list quickly. At least I do. Now you can change the order by simply changing the numbers of the groups. But do not hit auto group when you use one of my ships, please. For the love of everything that is holy, do not use auto group. Next, we're going to go to and remove these groups. This is the group with your detector. And the detector, because that doesn't require a signal logic, I'm just going to toss that in equipment. Because it doesn't require a signal, it doesn't accept any signal, it shouldn't be in that group. It's considered a weapon for the purposes of AI targeting, but yeah. And so I'm going to put this one as 9. And this one is going to be manual fire weapons. And then I'm going to just add everything that is in the ungroup section because I only took remove that group. And just put it, oh, I didn't hit the OK. So that's fine. I can just do that again. Anyways. And then you've got that stuff in manual fire. As you can see, I only have 6 manual fire artilleries. And that's because I plan on adding more later, depending on adding slots for them later. But just to start, I'm just going to have 6 in the LX2. And next, we are going to go to slot 8, and we're going to type in manual fire. Right, okay, and then just hit enter, and make sure that that does that, and then we're going to go back to the group, and now on the shortcut, we just hit that. And now, when you hit that shortcut, it turns on the LX2, and it extends our manual fire artillery guns. Turns back off, etc., etc. And then, for the constructors, I'm going to do another signal logic tutorial here, and instead of just, well, I'm just going to edit that, -9A constructors. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and add -9B because if you noticed, there were decons in that group. And so I'm gonna add those to the decons. -9B decons. And the reason I put all this stuff in their like custom grouping is because you want to know what is what when you look at this menu. You don't want to see, you don't want to, if you're in battle, you don't want to have to scroll through all these miscellaneous stupid groups. You don't. It's just not worth it. So next, we're going to put signal logic for decons. And the shift key decides to be a little bit sticky there. And then fabricators. Oh, right. That's just something I do. Constructors. Oh, wait, no. Advanced constructors. And basic constructors. Alright, now those 2 signals are set up. Now we just need to, or those 3 signals are set up. Now we just need to have these follow that signal so that you can turn them on. Just simply select them. Decon, decons, decons. And then the same with the large constructors. Oh, those are larges. Yeah. Yeah, I about made that mistake again. Advanced constructors. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, they are. Gosh, hold on just a second. Why does it say large constructor when they are? Ah, okay. Okay, so how I place these, get another nice little guide here. Advanced Constructor, we don't need these anymore, so I can put them in the trash since I put all of them down. Just, boop. And I already textured behind these, which is probably when it happened. Anybody who's textured around these things understands that, it's a pain in the butt. Now, the reason I'm using this gray color is because, configure, that gray color corresponds with that color palette. This is the color palette that you will use if you're using custom RE models. Like, they can't be colored anything other than these basic colors, no matter where they are on the palette. So, for example, this red, I'm gonna switch back to this one. That was in that slot, I believe. Let's choose that slot. Turns it to red. The darkest color was over there, so yeah. Anyways, so that's how that works. It's not great, but it is what it is. It's not perfect. A lot of things in this game aren't perfect, but they work. It just works. Yeah, I'm not putting that Todd Howard meme on the screen, guys. Just no. Advanced Constructor, Advanced Constructor, Advanced Constructor, Signals, Advanced Constructor, and then put these back in the Constructors group. And an additional thing, make sure that these are all still following Advanced Constructor Signal after you move them into a group, because they won't always respect that after you move them into a group, and you might have to do it again. Alright? Just a little heads up about the game. It's a bug. It is what it is. It's not a bad one. It's just the database. And I'm not going to go into the database rant today. Alright. And that is how I do that. And the reason I'm putting these on slot 9A and B, and I'll do another one, 9C, salvage, yeah, salvage turret. And yes, I know I misspelled that. Salvage turret, and I'll have that on 9C. I don't have a salvage turret yet, but since it's not going to be following a group, I don't really care. Next, we're going to do another group, which is the one that I do, which is shield shredders, and this is going to be slot 3. Basically, any turret that is a turret that it's like the T1, the T2 lasers, the positrons. No, the T1 and T2 lasers are the ones I usually put on shield shredders. And then slot 4 -4 is EMP. Slot 5, or group 5 I should say, is railguns. Railgun turrets. And then slot 6 is DPS. Again, I'm saying slot. That's fine. Is DPS turrets. These are your hell darts, your regular cruise missiles, etc. Then 7 is where you get to your specialty turrets. And yes, I know I missed 2. I'll get back to that. 7 is your specialty turrets. And let's see, what specialty turrets do I want to put in group 7? Oh right, Vulcans. Now, personally, I like Vulcan turrets. But I'll get back to that in a minute. It's a personal preference thing. 2 is our anti-drone. Anti-drone turrets. So the anti-drone turret group, I'm just gonna show you what I usually prefer as anti-drone. I don't use positrons, I use the Imperial. Nope. Nope. Imperial particle beam cannons. I use these because they use heat sinks. They simply use heat sinks. So they'll go there, and I'm just putting them here for a demonstration at the moment. They will be there once I end the game, but you cannot spawn a blueprint with these attached to them. So I'll put placeholders there, like T2 miniguns there as placeholders or something like that. And that's what this one is a placeholder as well. And that will also be a Imperial particle beam because of its placement. So I'm just going to put it there. Anyways, there are some other dedicated turret emplacements for anti-drone, which are these back here behind the thrusters, but for the sake of brevity, I will not deal with those at the moment. We are just putting them in the group to show you what I do. So anti-drone, and yes, I'm getting to a point here. Alright, so we are going to go to devices. We're going to have them follow group 1. Type in anti-drone. And that's following the anti-drone. Now I'm going to set these to target only NPC factions. Only drones, NPC drones and players. That's basically just targets only drones. But I am going to leave a targeting parameter down here, even though it won't target bases or any capital vessels that have these turrets to target. And the reason I leave that down there is because once I've dealt with the drones in a sector, I sometimes will go in and I'll say, hey, I want you to target capital vessels, and then I'll hit that apply to group twice. Or if I want them to switch back to drones, they can switch back to solely doing drones. And so I leave a targeting parameter that I believe that they will be useful for, which is exterior turrets, in this case, and just leave them there. Because these beam turrets aren't great for digging to things. Ammo, large heatsink, placeable base, capital vessel, allowed in BP. No, which is why I'll have to remove them before I bring them in. Maximum amount 12. Yeah. Shield capacity minus 75. Yeah, not great. But when I play on the Spanish server where he doesn't have turret limits or device limits, device limit or turret or quant limits, so I can use as much CPU as the frick I want. So yeah, anyways, that is a quick rundown of groups and guides. I am going to go back to showing you guys the internals. So as if you've been watching the series, instead of putting a blast door or a shutter door or something here, or just a door that just didn't fit and didn't look good, I put a ramp here based on user comments. Thank you, by the way. I forgot who you are, but thank you. And I found that was pretty brilliant, because it allows you to get in under the railgun, and this is the sniping bridge. And you always want to place a railgun above the bridge if possible for accuracy, and then you want to place it, ideally, it would be one block above. It would be one block above, so there would be like the railgun would be literally behind you, but I wanted an air-type ship, and I didn't want to push this back so far. Well, you couldn't really do any better than this. So it's about 1/4 of a block off of the actual targeting radical, which is, oh, yeah, that's great. That's going to be the targeting LCD made by Saluz Decor. I will get back to that in a minute. Thank you for not copying that properly. Really? Okay. Fine. My OCD got me there. There we go. That's better. Okay, so in the last stream, this area was not textured. It was not done anything with. There weren't textures here. There wasn't even a full layout here. There wasn't Gerald here. Yeah. No, don't talk to me about pizza right now. I'm trying to explain some things. No, shut up. Anyways, got full medical on this side. And that side, you've got your O2, you've got your spawn chamber right here. You've got your O2. I mean, not O2, but food processor. Got your, which I need to, that needs to be colored, thank you. Got your repair locker and armor locker right there. Fridge. Your 4 basic constructors that can make pentax for your pentax tank, or whatever else you want to put them to. You've got your advanced constructors here. You've got stairs down. Yes, stairs, because I hate elevators. But you do have your elevators that lead all the way down to the bottom entry. That way, when you're on a high gravity environment, you can walk up. Same with this. And personal choice. Texturing in the elevator was done, but I had to do some changes. You have your warp drive and your pentax tank right there. Surrounded in a combat steel cage. You have a fusion core below it, but it will not blow that, and I will show that in a minute. You have your core over here, warp drive here, and the reason I have the fusion core here is because, well, there was room, and there are decoys. There are decoy generators here that will keep that from taking fire, and there are also decoy generators here. Well, behind this thruster. There's a decoy generator there, and it's mirrored up here. So these will take fire rather than the main generators. So they'll draw fire over the main generators. At least in theory and in practice. Who am I kidding? It's not in theory. I know what I'm doing. Supposedly. And then again, there's some more decoy generators drawing fire away. Decoy generator. I know it's around here somewhere. That's spare space I need to fill in. But yes, the whole nose is a giant decoy. There's generators, the turrets on the surface to draw fire, everything. It's in here. So yeah, all of this is like combat steel, hardened steel, and a mix of combat steel, hardened steel, and xenoblocks. A smart mix. So yeah, the nose can take a lot of punishment before you even get to the final bulkheads that where the arrays are. So you can get to about here before you have to back out. So it can take some hits. Then you have, of course, all your turrets that you guys have seen, and the thrusters on the back. Another freaking missing block that just randomly disappears. Okay. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and look at the quantum rooms. We are 30 minutes in of me showing off the ship. Next we have quantum rooms. Now, the entry to the quantum rooms is through the decon room. So you have your access to your shield areas. You can fly between these and place the shield parts. Or you can go through this side and place the side shield part. There's sort of a windy path to get to the shield parts, but it is what it is. And then there's a room in here. So yeah, all of this is accessible. It's just you may want to pick up a block and do it at your own leisure. You may want to do something else. So the quant rooms, I'm going to go ahead and place the aux cores today because I'm going to show you how to get to them. So you go in through this door, which is the deconstructor room. Go down through here. You go back into here, and you place your aux cores. And I'm going to go ahead and place quants to show you what the aux cores are. Now, I would recommend placing your aux cores. I would recommend actually placing quantums in this room, and I might just fill it up with quantums, the basic quantums in here, just to start. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that, because I'm going to need to do this for the workshop anyways. And then there's a blast door here. And you can even place another one there if you want. And then that is, how many quantums is that? These rooms have room for 38 quantums, which should be enough to spawn the ship. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in core systems. Just put that in core systems. This is not going to be a cheap ship, guys. And yes, I know I'm missing an advanced extender. I don't know where I'm going to put that yet, but let's get rid of that. And then I recommend putting your actual aux cores back here. And the reason I recommend putting your aux cores there is because then, no, right there, then you have room to get back to add extra quantums, and you can upgrade them to shield cores when you get a chance. But I'm not going to have them as shield cores initially. Now, if I look at the CPU, I'm under CPU. Now, that's because I just have placeholder turrets at the moment. So, yeah, that gives you an idea of just how much this thing is going to add. And now I need to make a second quantum, or not second, but another group of quantum rooms so that you can add more additions later on the line. So I'm going to go ahead and work on trying to figure out where I want to add the next quantum room, because I've already got one up here behind the port. I think that's the port. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. The port or the starboard. Oh, it is the, okay. It's placed behind the shield part room. And the reason it's behind the shield part room is because, well, if you're losing the shield part, you didn't back out soon enough. If you've lost that shield part, you haven't backed out soon enough. So, and if this shield part goes, then you're at risk of losing the aux cores. Not big risk, but just a risk. Anyways, yeah. So that space will need to be filled in. As you can see, I've got combat steel surrounding, so that's always good. Where is some extra space in this thing? To add more quantums. I could expand this room up if I really want to. Why not? We'll go ahead and expand this room up and down. Well, actually, let's just expand it up. Okay. Yeah, I don't want it touching that. If I expand it up, it's coming to the top of the ship. So I can expand it up to... Okay, now let's expand it up too. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick these up. And I've got symmetry plane on, so I'm not too worried. Because I want to have room for you to upgrade them. Upgrade these to an amount that you're happy with. Yeah, it's right next to the reactor room, but I'm not worried about that. I've already done damage testing. Let's go ahead and remove that container controller. Put this here. Put that there. Alright, now I've got a room. Let's remove these aux cores so I can actually rejig how I want them. Because the entrance is right there, so if you put them right above... I don't know, we'll have to figure this out on your own. But yeah. Anyways, there's a lot more room for probably another 30 or so quantums. So that's plenty of room, and it's probably more than you need, but always fill up the back one first. This is just steel corridor. This is just a steel corridor, whatever. And then you have access to the shield components through that door as well. And then up the elevator, a flight, go up the stairs, and then you're back up at the bridge. And then this is your space jetpack to the bottom bridge, to the different floors in the bottom bridge. So this allows you to jetpack between floors. Now, I still don't know where I want to put the last extender. I wonder... Just move that forward. Let's just put the blast extender here. Did I really just... Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's just put that there. And then I'll modify the glass. Compromises everywhere. Anyways, modify the glass to something else. Let's do these, because that looks cool. Let's go ahead and do that. Just put that there. I'll retexture that later on a more broad retexture. Yes, the right color. Repaint that. And you've got your core, you've got your last advanced extender there, so I can put that in the... So I can start unloading that off of me. Alright. So that is that part. Now, I'm gonna go AFK for a second while I think about something. And you can enjoy this nice little screenshot. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. So, while I was away, my marketing director bent my ear and was telling me to advertise. Make sure to advertise. And, well, yeah, we all know how the advertisement business goes, don't we? Anyways, if you don't, welcome here and learn. Well, stick around and learn how the advertisement business works. Okay, I'm not a teacher of the advertisement business, so anyways, here's my pitch. So, in the description, there will be a link to my Discord, upon which entering, you get access to not only those GI resources that you saw earlier, but you also get access to some free merch. Now, what is this free merch, you say? Well, it is high quality pictures of ships. Well, backgrounds that I take some time to put in an effort into to give you some really high quality backgrounds that you can use for your phone, tablet, or PC if you're interested in that sort of thing. You also get access to You also get access to announcements when I'm going to be streaming. Make sure to get the first look at the workshop blueprints that I get, and some fun emojis that I've put together if you've got Discord Nitro. Now, you'll also get to see the schedule, the YouTube feed, and the announcements where I may ask for people's help to look at ships before I release them on the workshop. And you may be able to get some feedback on that. You may be able to give some feedback on that. So it's worth joining in Discord for all the extra little perks and benefits, and get to chat with me if you want, as long as you don't ping me too much. But anyways, yeah, I'm around quite a bit just to chat with viewers. I like chatting. So anyways, join the Discord. Say hi. Anyways. Okay, so the crew, I don't have any rooms specially made for the crew because I don't do RP stuff. Now, I might just have rooms that I just leave empty that you can get to where you can just toss crew in for the extra CPU benefit, but I mean, come on, if you're bringing this ship in, you already have access to enough quants to use the ship, so and you probably have the knowledge and know-how to get a lot of quants. Because, well, I do video content on that regularly, on how to take on Toberas. So, anyways, that is going to be it for today. I am coming up on 45 minutes. I've got another 15 minutes to kill, so let's go ahead and get some more work done on this. Alright, so let's get texture. So I'm actually going to go into full-on build mode. So, yeah. Okay. So, interesting side note here. This particular SWAT, I just said SWAT. I meant spot. Calm down, YouTube. Is so that I can check colors. So I can check what the ship actually looks like. As you can see, ship was white before. Configure. Just switch that out. That's just for when I build. I leave it white, but then I just simply switch it over to that. Hit OK, and I've got the ship black again, which is the intended color. Now this lets me know. This lets me know where I have textured and where I still need to texture. So it looks like this room and this floor here. Turn that off and switch it to this white. Oh, right. I forgot. I am not actually going to texture. I'm not going to make this into a white room. And the reason being is that I can't get the transition to this part of the ship. So I'm just going to leave it black. And I'm going to leave these like extra light sources and things like here. And then this is the transition to the white area of the ship. However, these areas will be white, so that you can see them and navigate around them very, very quickly. So let's go ahead and switch that. Copy that. Now, does anybody remember if I have symmetry? Of course I don't. Elevators over here. Okay, let's work on the other side first, because that's the one I haven't textured yet. So, and no, you cannot bribe me to do the texturing for your own ships. It's a personal rule. I'm not. No, just no. I hate texturing, and this is the expertise level of my texturing. Just white and black, because I just don't want to put more effort than that into texturing a lot of the time. Okay, that's there. Control right click to copy texture from a target source. So you look at the texture you want to copy, you hit control right click, there we go. And you can copy a texture, assuming that the texture gun decides to cooperate. Let's go put that one there. Ooh, that's not right. Okay. Hitboxes. That one's already textured. Good. Oh, that's already been used there. Okay. Maybe? Of course. So when that happens, simply rotate, 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 and rotate. Oh, that one I didn't want to rotate. There we go. Congratulations, you didn't copy the texture, you piece of shit. 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 I said shit. Not what you were thinking I said. Yeah, I'm not gonna question that. Let's not question that. Just try out different. I'm gonna get demonetized just by my mispronouncing words. And I've accepted that fact. Now, I would not advise you actually try and texture behind these things. Just pick them up and texture behind them as normal, and then put them back down, because it's just going to save you so much headache. Alright, now that those quant rooms have been sorted, I'm just going to go ahead and replace that texture. And replace... Not what I meant to do. There we go. What texture did I use earlier? I don't remember. So I actually like using this texture because it provides sort of a gradient texture, where it's kind of like, it's not a pure white, it's not a hard white, it's not a harsh white, it's not this, it's not that grainy texture. It's just white on white like texture, so it looks something different, I guess. Just rotate that block a couple of times so that lines up. I'm not sure I like that texture though. Let's do this one instead. I don't like that one either. Okay, so it rotated back to where it was. Okay, so I don't need to undo that. This maybe? No. Doesn't fit the GEI style. That works. There we go. Now we use the grip texture for the floor. And get decons back from the IM menu. And again, make sure to remember what the original color palette was and texture accordingly when texturing these, or when coloring these. Still don't like how that looks. Just try things. Yeah, well, we'll just leave it as is. Every time I use this texture, I'm just like, I don't want freaking alien creatures coming out of my vents. That vent's too big and allows alien creatures to go through it. No. 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 No more legs. No more legs coming out of vents. Of course. Why is it like that? Okay. Of course it lines up on the other side. Of course it would. Anyways. Yeah, just leave it. So I have found the optimal number of these EMP turrets to be 12. And I prefer to put them on the top of my ship. What am I doing? I don't know. Never. Alright, so that's 12 EMPs, which is ideal, as I just said. Let's do T2s. I know the internals are not quite done yet, but I'm just going to show you what loadout I'm planning on. There we go. I'm going to leave that undone for our unused for the moment. Actually, let's go ahead and move 1, 2. Maximum about 4. And move these here. Next, we're gonna, since that's the full 12 EMP, we're gonna use railgun turrets. Let's go ahead and grab some of these just for the sake of it. Move these over. Railgun. I'm gonna do the heavies because I have them in stock in the main game. Put them there. There we go. We got the railguns. What turret type is that? Ooh, Vulcan turrets. Good. Okay, I'll leave those there. Now, you might be wondering, why do you like plasma? Well, I like plasma because plasma deals heavy damage. And that reminds me, I need to add a custom group for plasma. Group 8. I knew I was forgetting one. Actually, let's rename that group Plasma Swarm. No, I don't want swarms in there as well. Cancel. I'll do... Let's rename that group. Now, I'm doing this because I want... Oh, I'm over an hour long. Well, I just passed an hour and the YouTube algorithm doesn't like that. But anyways, this is the start of the well, the next video. I was hoping to get it done today, but cards were not in my favor. But I would just like to thank you guys for joining. Make sure to hit that like, that subscribe. Leave a comment with your questions. If there's something about the building that you would like me to expand on or review on the next video, please leave a comment. Remember to be kind to your fellow humans. Grace is the better part of valor. Yep, I don't know where that quote comes from, but grace is definitely the better part of valor. So, yeah, Banshee out. Have a good day.